In this video, we're going to use FreeCad to reproduce the part that's shown on the screen. The first step is to take the measurements of the part and note the shapes. Then we'll figure out how we'll build it. If you look at the part, you'll notice that there's a large cylinder that makes up the bottom, a smaller cylinder on the top, and two square extrusions that are clips. There's also a slot in the bottom. After downloading and installing FreeCAD, you can start it by double-clicking on it, and we will first start by creating a new part by clicking the icons shown. We now need to give the part a name, and we do that by clicking Save and naming the part in the directory we'd like. And we'll call it Plug. Now you'll see that the name has changed. So first we need a body. The body is the actual part we'll be printing, and we did that by clicking the body, and now we're going to create a sketch for that body. We select the XY plane and we draw a circle. This is the base of the part, and we're going to give it a dimension of 14 millimeters. We can now click OK, and we'll extrude that part by clicking the pad function and giving it a height of 3 millimeters. After entering the number by clicking off it, it'll change the size. We now have the part 3 millimeter disc. We want to put another sketch on the top of that disc for the stem. So we create a circle, just like we did before. We give it a dimension, and the dimension we're going to give it is 7 millimeters. We're fully constrained, which means everything's defined, and we click OK. Now with it highlighted in blue, we now are going to pad it, and we're going to make it 12 millimeters high, because the entire part's 15 minus the 3 millimeter base. Now we need to build the stem. Clicking the side view, we'll create a new sketch in the middle, and we do that by clicking New Sketch and selecting the pane for the side, or the plane for the side. And we're going to select a rectangle, and we want the rectangle that's drawn with a center section. And there we've created it. If we click the equal sign on the top and make the top and right sides equal, it's now a perfect square, and we only need to dimension one side, which will give it 2.5 millimeters. The height will set so that it's about 1 millimeter below the top, but I'm going to reference the bottom plane, and so we can see the number I'm putting in now. Now it's hidden because it's in the middle of the part that we have. If we hide the part by clicking the eyeball, you saw the square. We can now extrude it. We want it symmetric because we want it out both sides, and we want to adjust the length to be 14 millimeters. Now it's the same width as the base. When we're happy with it, we click OK. Now there's only one more thing we have to do, and that's add the slot on the bottom. So we'll click a side that's to the right angle of the latch on the top. We're going to create a new sketch on that plane, and the sketch is going to once again be a center rectangle, and we're going to make the width of the slot 2 millimeter, and the height actually 1.5 millimeter, and the height 2 millimeter. So it'll be a 1 millimeter slot in the part itself. We'll now pocket that. So we click the pocket tool, make it symmetric, and I can either adjust the length until it's shown as a slot, but a better way to do it is to select the top and say through all. That way it'll always cut regardless of the slot of the disc size on the bottom. So we've now created our full part. The only thing I want to do is add a chamfer at the top, which is just a little right angle to allow it to insert a little better. So I select the very top edge, hit the chamfer icon, and say a 0.5 millimeter. And there it is. Part is done. So now I want to select the part when it turns blue by clicking on it, File, Export, and I'll save it as Part 1 STL type file. I now have something I can print, and that was the entire creation and saving of the part. So now we need to modify the part because it didn't quite fit. So we reopen FreeCAD and open the FreeCAD file, which is shown with the F from where we saved it. We can do that by double clicking, and you'll see the part comes in. Now let's say that we want to change the size of the shaft. Well, we have to find the sketch that's associated with it. We can do that with the little eyeballs, and if we see it, we know that we've got the right one. So that's not it. There's the sketch, because it's not the big one, it's the little one. So I'm going to double click on that sketch. If you ever lose your picture and you need to get it again, you can click the keys V and F, or menu View, Standard Views, Fit All, and it will bring it back to the center of the screen. Sketch to open it. I have to bring it to where I can see it, and I'm going to change it from 7 millimeters to 6. I did that by double clicking on the number and entering the new number and hitting enter. Now if I look at it, you'll see that I've made it, it's automatically made thinner. Let's say that the shafts that are coming out the top are too big. Well, I find them by clicking on the eye, and I can change just the one number by double clicking on the size, and I made it a smaller square. Now let's say I need to shorten the length of the catch. I do that by double clicking on the pad 02 and modify the length. Let's say I want to modify the slot. I can either change the sketch, which allows me to modify the square that's being cut out, and I can make the width and height whatever I want by double clicking on the number, putting in a new number, clicking OK, and same for the height. So that's how you modify an existing sketch. Once you've done that, you need to save it in a format that you can export to your printer, And you do that by selecting the body and clicking File, Export, and you export it to a file name in STL in a location you want. That's all there is to it.